is Bio-relativity for North America. Shalom. 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 Greetings. This is Archangel Michael. I wanted to do a brief introduction for your planetary healing meditation today. In the Kabbalah, when we talk about repair of the world, Olam Haba, the repair of this world. And in the Kabbalah, it is believed that people like you, who you call starseeds, have manifested and incarnated now to help repair the world. And repair the world refers in part to what is called the lost sparks, or the sparks that have been dispersed from the broken vessels. And the vessels are etheric containers of divine light, much like the etheric crystals from the Arcturians, which contain this divine energy that holds and heals the planet and creates the life force energy for the biosphere. In Kabbalah, we say that the containers, etheric crystal containers, broke, and the sparks that were contained in those crystals have been dispersed around the globe. And it is your job, my job, the job of all light workers, to gather the sparks, to raise the vibrational energy field and bring in the higher light that is so desperately needed on this planet. Now, there is one other concept I want to mention before we turn it back over to Giuliano. And in Kabbalah, there is a concept called a mitzvah. A mitzvah is a service that one does. And by doing a service, you promote your soul, or you help to promote your soul growth. The Kabbalists believe, as do the Arcturians, that this planet, this third dimension, offers service. And through that service, you have the soul growth. Now, paradoxically and unexplainably, that ability of service and soul growth does not exist on the higher dimensions. On the higher dimensions, you are where you are. And there is not the same opportunities. And this explains why so many of you come down to the third dimension, even though it's so complicated and difficult and polarizing and painful. But you intuitively know that by doing mitzvahs or service, especially large services like the repair of the planet, then you are putting yourself in a position to expand your soul growth. And of course, you are contributing to the repair of the world. What greater mitzvah, what greater service can there be? For it is the divine will, that this planet in Gaia be healed. I now turn you over to Giuliano. This is Archangel Michael. Greetings. I am Giuliano. We are in union with the Sacred Triangle. We are in union with the Ascended Masters on the multi-levels. And so, let's work together again. It's always a pleasure to interact with your energies. What is known now that was not known in ancient times was that in modern times, as we are now in, we can do our healing, we can do our meditations in the fifth dimension. And it is in the fifth dimension where we have great advantages of higher thought power and more focus and more abilities to intuitively connect with Gaia and her feedback loop system. Today, let us use our powers to encourage the development of the spontaneous evolutionary leap that will lead to Homo Omega. I, Giuliano, send down corridors of light to each of your rooms. Take 3 deep breaths. And go into a state of spiritual relaxation. Feel yourself protected and also able to engage in spiritual light work in the fifth dimension. What a gift, what an ability that you have developed, and I am proud of you for learning that ability with us. Your spirit body rises up out of your crown chakra, and you enter the corridor of light from which you came. Or rather, you enter the corridor of light through your crown chakra, and you go upwards through that corridor of light to my Starship Athena on the fifth dimension. You arrive at my Starship Athena, and you are on the fifth dimension. This is a special calibrated entryway and hallway that allows you to simultaneously be on my fifth dimensional starship without having to cross the barrier that would allow your soul to graduate. Walk down the hallway and enter the Gaia Planetary Healing Room, and you see the beautiful holographic image of planet Earth and zoomed in on North America. But see a huge white screen over North America. And I want you to see the words spontaneous evolutionary leap of Homo Omega. Spontaneous evolutionary leap of Homo Omega. Focus your arcane thought powers. Focus your concentration on this instructions that we want to give to Gaia. For Gaia participates in all evolution. And Gaia has the ability, working with us, to accelerate the spontaneous evolutionary leap that will lead to Homo Omega and expanded consciousness. And this expanded consciousness has already begun in the Planetary Cities of Light project, in our Bio-relativity meditations, and in all of the wonderful light work that is now being practiced throughout the planet. So, Gaia, accelerate the spontaneous evolutionary leap to Homo Omega now. We'll go back into silence while we focus on those words on the white screen. Let the letters of this affirmation become fiery red due to the intensity of your thought powers. And at the count of 3, I will download this request into Gaia. 1, 2, 3, now. Gaia has received this request. Now visualize the 3 crystals, Lake Moraine, Mount Shasta, and in Copper Canyon. See these crystals rising up. And think of what Archangel Michael said, that these are crystals, these are vessels that are holding special divine frequencies of fifth dimensional Arcturian light that are necessary for the evolutionary leap, necessary for the expanded consciousness. The 3 crystals are all above the ground, and at the top of each crystal they begin to emanate fifth dimensional frequencies that are in alignment with Homo Omega. light frequencies of Homo Omega are being emanated from the etheric crystals that I just mentioned, and they're filling up North America with this expanded light frequency that will permeate the ethers and raise the spiritual light frequency and accelerate the Homo Omega leap. It will happen. We are laying the groundwork now. Homo Omega. And now as we are looking at North America, we see the drought. We see the droughts in Georgia, the fires in the southeast. We see the drought in the Midwest. We see the drought in the Southwest. We see the drought in Canada, in the northern provinces. And with our energy, we request a shifting of the jet streams to allow moisture to fill these areas that I have mentioned as soon as possible. And the three etheric crystals are emanating the frequencies and shifting light patterns that are necessary to begin the process of shifting the weather patterns into moisture over these areas. Focus on this thought now, moisture over the areas that we mentioned. We'll go back into silence. I see and you see on the holographic images greenery and moistures filling these areas that we are mentioning, bringing necessary moisture. Eshamola imala a ishtoloha hashahma lashikamola inga o la moisture now. Beautiful. The etheric crystals are going to return to the ground. And we're going to return back to our physical bodies on Earth. We have enjoyed working together on the fifth dimensional starship, and by doing these exercises, you also elevate your spiritual light quotient. And you bring yourself closer to being a representative of Homo Omega. Because you too can shift your evolution. We stand up and walk out of the room, down the hallway. We embrace each other. Then we enter the corridor of light from which we came. And you enter that corridor of light and travel at the speed of thought. And thought project yourself back to your physical earth body. and go to a place 6 feet above your physical body and re-enter now in perfect alignment, bringing with you an elevation and a more intense spark of this spontaneous evolutionary link known as Homo Omega. I'm Giuliano. Good day.